This video is sponsored by NewType. They're one of the largest online hobby stores where you can get your hobby kits, tools, and everything you need. Link in the description. Check them out. What's up, GFM? This is Justin, and today I'm going to show you guys on how I clean my airbrush. Let's do this. First of all, let's look at some of the tools that you need. Definitely start with a cotton bud, some tissue paper. Of course, you're gonna have your airbrush cleaner around. If you don't have any airbrush cleaner around, it's fine. Just use some alcohol. Other than all that, it's better if you can get yourself an ultrasonic cleaner because it really deep cleans the entire airbrush itself. But then again, this is optional. It is not really necessary, so don't worry about it. And last but not least, you're definitely gonna need your airbrush to clean. Step 1. Start removing all the components from the airbrush. All this may be intimidating at first, but don't worry about it. If you are afraid that you might lose some parts or forget the steps on how to remove and how to assemble it back, I suggest that you take a photo on every step so that you can have some photo to reference to. First of all, what you're gonna do is to unscrew the cap from the bag, and then after that, remove the needle very carefully, and then you take out the rest of the components like the trigger, and the trigger springy mechanism thingy. And then what you're gonna do is move on to the front, which is to unscrew the needle cap. So the needle cap itself usually has two layers. One is the outer layer, another one that is inside, that is hugging the needle. For that one, please use the mini wrench that came with your airbrush. If not, you can use a small plier or like a tweezer itself, just to unscrew it a little bit and then twist it out using your hands. Step 2 is to use some tissue paper alongside with some airbrush cleaner. If you don't have it, it's fine. For this tutorial, I'm going to use isopropyl alcohol anyway. And then what you gotta do is to wipe down every single component inside and out. And this is a good time for you to use the cotton buds to clean the inside of the airbrush itself. And if your cap is removable, definitely remove them and get a better access inside the airbrush itself. Once you're done with cleaning the surfaces and also the inside of the airbrush itself, maybe if you want to go a little bit further, then it's time to put out your ultrasonic cleaner. And using your ultrasonic cleaner, just put all your airbrush components inside. Don't worry about it getting damaged or anything. It doesn't do that. I tried it out every single time and it works fine. Throw in your airbrush components, make sure that everything is there, don't lose any parts. And then what you're gonna do is to put in some water, turn it on, and just let it sit there for 30 to 50 minutes. After that, take them out, dry them with a piece of cloth, and leave the rest to dry naturally. Step 3, now it's time to reassemble every single thing. Basically, this is that simple. You just do everything in reverse as you were to disassemble them. But one technique that I use is that whenever I take the needle out from the back, I don't insert it back from the back. I insert it from the front. So this is what you guys gotta really watch out for. And then it's time to screw in everything into place. And if you forget the steps or how things should look like, it's time to whip out your phone and look at the photo reference again. Next is to push the needle back into place and make sure that it is not too tight, it is not too loose. It is just there, okay? There's actually no correct way to do this. You just have to judge it with your own experience. If this is your first time, don't worry about it. Just push it all the way in, but never push too far. Don't use any force on it, and then just screw it tight, and you can find out later on how it works by testing it out later on when you're painting. Tip number 1, clean your airbrush every single time you finish painting, because you know what? Little maintenance goes a long way. Instead of deep cleaning your airbrush every single month and all that, you can actually skip all that part if you clean your airbrush enough every time you finish painting. Tip number 2, remove the needle from the bag but insert it back in the front. And the reason why I'm suggesting you all to do that is because you wouldn't want to jeopardize the tip of the needle, because the tip of the needle itself, it's so thin, it's like millimeter, like literally 0.2 millimeter, 0.3 millimeter. It's very easy to get bent or damaged. So definitely do not jeopardize using your needle as a front when you push it in. So take it out from the back and push it in from the front instead. Tip number 3, try to polish your needle from time to time. You can get yourself a metal polisher like the one that came with the tubes. If you have like a Tamiya fine polishing compound, use that. That works as well. But after you use all that, make sure that you clean them again and oil up a little bit before you put it back into the airbrush. Tip number 4, definitely use a lot of cotton buds. Never let cotton buds to go really frail, and then you get fibers running around and you may be stuck in your airbrush, and that is not healthy. Anyway, this is how I clean my airbrush. This is not necessarily the correct steps, but these kind of steps has worked well for me. So if you have your method of cleaning your airbrush, kindly help out the community by commenting down below on how you do it. Or if you have any suggestions as well, please comment down below. All in all I want to say is thank you for watching this video, and I hope that it helps you. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell notification beside to get notified every time I post a video. And again, this is Justin from Studio G signing off. I'll see you guys on the next one. Happy building. Bye-bye.